Hey guys, so in this video we're looking at special product formulas, and you may not love these for multiplying, but they're going to turn out to be really good for factoring in a couple of places, and then we're going to see them used for multiplying all over Math 95. It's one of those things that people often kind of skip over and they just sort of do the cheat version and foil it. But it'll really kind of help you out if you learn these. They're going to be useful in several different places coming up. So the basic idea is if I have something like this, a plus b quantity squared, that really means a plus b. And so you can't just like distribute the square, it's actually a FOIL. So if I did that out, it'd be a times a for that a squared. On the outside I'd get an ab, on the inside I'd get an ba, which is still ab, so I'd have ab plus ab makes two ab's, and then b times b for b squared. Same thing with the minus one here, but this one would come out a minus. This one is the mixed sign, so we have back here, let me just write that out. So we have both with plus, both with minus, and then we have one of each side. And this one, when you FOIL it, you get a squared, and then you get the minus ab on the outside, but then we get a plus ab on the inside, and so those end up canceling, and then b times b for minus b squared. So that's how this one works. So the idea is to just basically recognize what it is and write down the answer and not do all this FOIL steps. So let me show you what that would kind of look like. With this first one here, this is a and this is b. And so it's of that form right there. So that means it's going to fill in as a squared minus 2ab plus b squared. So on this first one, I'm going to write it out really kind of proper, and then I'm just going to try to show the pattern to it. This 4x is the a, so what you're doing here is 4x quantity squared. The next thing is 2ab, so we'll go 2 times the 4x times the 3. You don't have to worry about the negative because it's right here in the formula, so that's already picked up. And then b is 3 and squared. So 4x quantity squared is 16x squared. 2 times 4b, 8 times 3 is 24x. And then 3 times 3 makes 9. Now, probably the way I just did that, it doesn't look any easier than if I had just FOILed. And I would totally agree. The way that I want you to think about this, or at least the way I think about it, which seems easier to me, is I just kind of think of the pattern of the formula. This a squared means I'm just going to take whatever's up front and multiply it by itself. So 4x times 4x, 16x squared. Then I'm going to go 2ab, I'm going to multiply these two together and then double it. So 4 times 3 is 12, doubled 24x right there. And then this says square the thing on the end, so 3 times 3 makes 9. So to me, I just kind of think of more of a pattern of filling this in than like plugging into the formula. But they're the same thing, I just think the pattern version is easier. So for number 2, this one's a plus, so it just means there'll be a plus in the middle. I'm going to fill them in like the pattern from here on out. So x times x would be x squared, and I go 2 times x times 9. It's not this 2, it's the 2 from getting the 2 ab's in the middle. But if looking at that one kind of helps you remember the 2, you can just kind of use it as a visual cue. 2 times 9, 18, and then x. And then 9 times 9 would be 81. So x times x squared, x times 9 times 2, 18x, 9 times 9, 81. And again, this 2 has nothing to do with that 2, but it's just kind of a convenient visual is all. Third one, 7x times 7x is going to make 49x squared. 7x times 1 times 2 will be minus 14x. And then 1 times 1 will make a plus 1. This one we got 3x times 3x, so 9x squared. 3 times 5 would be 15, and then doubled will make 30. And then the xy just kind of come along for the ride. And 5y times 5y will be 25y squared. Okay, so more of the same thing. It's just a bunch of examples, try to get you to see the pattern to it. So here, 4x times 4x, 16x squared. 4 times 2 would make 12, doubled will be minus 24x, and then 3 times 3 will be 9 on the end. Here, 6x times 6x, so that'll be 36x squared. 6 times 5 would be 30, and then double it for 60. xy, and then 5y for 25y squared. The fractions are a little bit trickier. The first part and the last part aren't too bad, but the 2ab, we gotta maybe do a little bit of work. So x times x will give us x squared, and then the 2 times the a is the x times the b is the 4/3. So I just kind of think of all that. It'll be 2 times x times 4, so that'll be, and it's plus, sorry, 2 times x times 4 will be 8x, and then downstairs is just the 3. So you kind of think of those as over 1. And then square this one. 4 times 4 makes 16. 3 times 3 makes 9. And then here, 3x times 3x, that'll be 9x squared. 2 times a times b. So this would make 2 times 3 would be 6. And then 4ths x. So then we'll just reduce that when we bring it down to 3/2 x. And then 1/4 times 1/4 will be 1/16. Okay, these next 6 or so are the ones that have you guys try. So here we got x times x, x squared. 2 times x times 3 would be minus 6x, and 3 times 3 for a 9. Here we got 7x times 7x, so that'll be 49x squared. 7 times 2 is 14, and then double that for 28. And then xy. And then 2y times 2y will make plus 4y squared. This one, we got 7 times 7, so 49y squared. 7 times 3 would be 21, and then doubled would be minus 42y. 3 times 3 for 9 on the end. And that one, 5x times 5x would be 25x squared. 5 times 2 would be 10, doubled makes 20. And then 2 times 2 makes 4. Here we got 3y times 3y for 9y squared. 3 times 4 would be 12, doubled for 24 with the y, and then 4 times 4 for 16. This is another one of those ones with the fractions, so we'll do the 2ab here, so it'll be 2 times x times a half. And you kind of see the half and the 2 just cancel, so we're just going to have an x left. So x times x makes x squared, and then plus the x for the 2ab there. And then 1/2 times 1/2 will be 1/4. So these next two ones I would do, and they're doing the a plus b, a minus b property. So that's going to go to a squared minus b squared. That's the third of the formulas. So this one's going to be 16y squared and then minus 25. Much easier than foiling. Here we just have 25x squared and then minus 1/9, because 1/3 times 1/3 for 1/9. Have you guys try? So this will go y squared, and then 10 times 10 for minus 100. Here, x times x, x squared, and then minus 2 times 2 for 4, 7 times 7 for 49. So these are very quick. 8 times 8 is 64, and then minus y times y, y squared. And here, higher power, but same idea. So 3 times 3 for 9, y squared would make y to the 4th this time. And then 2 times 2 for minus 4. Okay, and these last three I'd have you guys try, and they're just kind of a combination of a few things we've seen. So this one's just a higher power for the earlier problems. So we have 3y squared times 3y squared will make 9y to the 4th. And then doing our 2ab, we'd have 2 times the 3y squared and then the 7. And so 2 times 2 would be 6 times 7 for 42y squared. And then 7 times 7 will make 49. And then these ones are just kind of using these special products and then just doing a little bit of collecting terms. So here we're going to have 9y squared, and then 3 times 1 times 2 would make 6y. And 1 times 1 will make a 1. And minus, and we need a parenthesis because we're going to subtract, so always got to put all that in parentheses. So 6y times 6y will be 36y squared. 6 times 5 is 30, and then doubled will be 60. And then 5 times 5 for 25. And I'll distribute that sign through, and then just collect terms from there. So 9 minus 36 will make minus 27y squared. 6 minus 60 will be minus 54y. 1 minus 25 for minus 24. And then this last one's similar, just kind of an extra piece going on. So this is going to be x squared plus, and then it'll be 2 times x times 1, so just 2x plus 1. And then minus, here I'm going to go x squared, 2 times x times 2 will make plus 4x, and then plus 4, 2 times 2. And then plus x squared, 2 times x times 3 will be plus 6x, and plus 9. And then, so this sign would distribute, so it's going to make this, everything in here will change to a negative. I'm just going to not rewrite it all. So the x squareds are going to cancel, leaving just that x squared there. I'll have 2x minus 4x, so minus 2x there, and then back up 6 for 4x. And then 1 minus that 4 would be negative 3, but then back up 6 will be 6.